YouTube! Welcome! We're going to be watching Too Fancy to Furious Wine Edition because there's a tax break in Canada right now for the holiday on wine, and I want to learn more about this so I can stock up on 10 bottles of wine. I need to know which one I would like so that I can get 10 bottles without tax. Let's go!
Come here, little fella.
Oh, that's loud.
I want to tell you a secret.
So sorry.
I'm just like you.
Why is he so close?
We're both down here in the dirt. Mine just happens to be imported. You are fighting in traffic, and I am fighting charges of trafficking. We're so similar. You're working a 9-to-5 job.
How'd you know?
And I am having to look at that. We're both going through it. So don't hate me. I'm not the problem. It's the wine snobs. They're the ones that look down on you.
Wait, which movie is this from? Why does it look so familiar?
And frankly, I don't blame him. No, he's learning.
Twilight, I knew it. I knew it. I was like, they don't look like, 1500 European nobles, but they look so familiar.
Listen,
so
let
bright.
me pull you up by your bootstraps. What if I made you my little Pygmalion? That's a reference that you wouldn't get. You know what?
Sorry.
Perhaps I shall make a series of videos that will give you some sort of clue about fancy things. Yes, that's what I'll do. Something to give you just enough information to bluff your way through a fancy
Dan
dinner.
Vinci.
Did you know that Dan Vinci painted the Mona Lisa?
That's
Somebody
crazy.
had to hold open the gates for the barbarians. Why not me? So let's do it. Let's look at
Dan Vinci.
wine.
Aw.
The Mountain Dew of upper society. With wine, there is only one rule. Kill or be killed.
What?
And if you want to survive the night, here are 6 things you should know about wine.
Perfect. Be ready to get your notebooks out, okay? We're going to be learning the 6 things about wine. There will be a test at the end, okay? Remember. Put your stick down,
you
chat. Put the
muggles.
stick down.
The words on these bottles must seem like a mystery.
Pie, not no ire?
But us landlords, we, the pink Himalayan salt of the earth, we know what they mean. They are grape names. Look upon this grapevine. It
Looking.
makes grape berries.
Looking.
Now, there are many different species.
Yo, my favorite grape is the dark purple grapes. They're so good. They're so good. You don't think you've ever had wine? That's okay. Plenty of time to change
Of
that.
grape berry. And whatever the berry species is will determine the type of wine. This is Chardonnay, so it will make Chardonnay. Merlot grapes, they make
I love those grapes, but I really don't like Merlot.
Merlot wine. Grape names are mostly French. Gross. But for example, in English,
Gross.
Pinot Noir means black pine, because it kinda looks like a black pine cone if you
Huh?
squint.
I'm squinting. I don't think so. Man, French people are weird. Hello, potato.
Here's some of the other names. You can pause it.
Grey pine, wild white, wild cabernet, blackbird, also called Syrah, sort of. It's complicated. Named after a city in present-day Iran. Named after a village named Chardonnay.
But I'm busy. Wine grapes are not like the kind you get at the supermarket. Those are table grapes. You can think of it kind of like the difference between cooking chocolate and regular chocolate.
Well, I mean, if I'm in a pinch and I don't have cooking chocolate, I may or may not have had a track record of using actual chocolate candy.
You can eat them. Ugh. But they're overly sugary and kind of full of seeds and just not as nice to snack on. So the grape type is the main word on the bottle. But sometimes there are other words as well. For example, this Bourgogne.
Isn't that like a pasta sauce?
What the hell is a chablis?
Isn't that a cup?
It's all regions.
Oh.
Allow me to explain. Through the medium of song.
Perfect jump. Whoa.
There's Chianti and Piedmont, and also there's Burgundy. Don't forget Chablis Bordeaux. This one's from Italy, this one's from Italy, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France.
This one's from France,
They're all
this
from
one's from
France.
France.
We're Italy. Look, the general rule...
Look, Germany was too busy with beer, okay? They can't be wasting time with wine.
Rule is, if you see a term you don't understand, it's probably just the French or the Italians, la-di-da.
All taste the same anyway. I feel like I agree. I don't think I taste the difference in most like dark red wines. You can translate it, Ray. You speak French. Oui. Je parle en français. Excusez-moi.
Move on to price. Come on, I know a place.
Ah, yes. Let's change the
We're
subject.
here. I can tell by the name on the sign. Now, don't embarrass me. I didn't bring my ID.
What?
Fiddle-TD, look at
I mean, I don't think you'll get ID'd. You look kind of old.
all these
It's the receding hairline for me.
bottles. So many options. Ooh, a cheeky $200 bottle.
Damn.
And here, oh,
Wait, there's no tax though.
a $20 bottle. Now, I bet this $200 bottle tastes way better, right? Like it's got to be 10 times better than this one. That's just basic math. Go on, though. You choose one.
Which one do you want, Tut? I want the $20 one. Even better if there's an $8 one. Sometimes they're on sale for $6. Yeah, the $20 one. I don't actually know why wine is more expensive. This is quite enlightening. I'm learning a lot.
Oh, no. Well, it was supposed to be a trick question, but they both taste pretty similar, right? Mm-hmm. There's not some threshold that you get to where it gets more expensive, and then it tastes better, and then more expensive again, and it tastes even better, until it gets so expensive and so incredible that it's like nothing you've ever had before. Break through the conditioning. This is just old grape juice. Now,
Damn. You could just go to your local store and get some grapes and just eat that and call it a day.
if you're a little bi-curious
What?
about a more expensive bottle,
I am bi-curious.
Sure, why not?
Gold letters grace the label, hand engraved by goldsmiths. Famed wine critics described the taste as mind-boggling.
But realistically, after about $60, the flavor doesn't get much better. In fact,
Better.
it plateaus out and it can even go down. The best quality to price ratio is all the way over here, much lower, about $20.
What? That's so low for wine. Okay, deadass, I have brought like wine for friends' birthdays or like house parties and stuff. And I always thought $20 was too cheap. And I didn't want to seem like I was being a cheap ass. So I would go for shit that's like $45, $40, $50. And it hurts. It hurts every time I buy it. Because I'm like, I can't even drink this. It's so expensive. But $20 is the best value? Seriously? I feel cheated. Your dad is a wine collector. You knew that. Okay. All right, you wine connoisseur.
That's how much you should spend on a bottle of wine.
Sangria
Now,
wine from
some
Costco
people
is the
will say,
bomb.
That I'm putting my heart and soul into this thing. I'm making
Who is she?
a form of art.
Who are
How
you?
much is that worth? How much is art worth?
Depends on the artist. Most people would say we're worthless.
About $20. Ah, but what about the Vintage? Whoa, look at this.
It's called the
A
vintage.
couple of cromulent
Freaking
slender
peasant.
necks. And they're the same price as well. But this one is from 2019, and this one is from 2022. Well, surely the older one is the better one, right?
I don't think it makes a difference with wine. I think
Many people think that the wine aging goes like this, and the flavor just keeps getting better over time. Wrong, wrong, wrong! The wine at the store has already been aged at the winery. I don't need to be more aged by sitting on this shelf and just collecting
he looks pretty sexy in this outfit. I wish he would wear it more in his videos.
dust. or spending years at the back of your pantry at home. If I'm for sale, I'm ready to be consumed. I'm ready to have your hot lips wrapped around. In fact, the general rule goes a corked bottle should be drunk within 5 years and a capped bottle within 1 year.
Oh, I didn't know
Come,
that.
there's more. Let's pretend I am a waiter
Stop
at a
it.
restaurant.
Get some help.
Ah, no! Hey, yo, no! I've never been to jail, even though I played a DS with a 180-degree angle. A price to performance, yes. 40 is a bit better than 20 on average, but not twice as good. Okay. Ah! Okay, I see. So it's not like a linear relationship. I see.
You happen to be wearing a shirt, and so I have mistaken you as a paying customer. As a waiter, the first thing I will press you about will be food pairings.
Ah, yes.
White wine with fish? A Merlot with pork? Well, kid, I'm gonna have to pair this truth nugget with something you don't wanna hear.
What do you pair a dino nugget with, huh?
Yeah. The food pairing doesn't really matter.
Huh?
It's all completely subjective. It's cuisine by horoscope.
Wait, hold on. Let me read this. What is it? There are some general guidelines that can be useful. There are so many exceptions. It's not so objective. Yeah, this, but no, not that. Sometimes actually, yes, this, but it depends on that. Inconsistencies that there's no meaningful distinction. What? Wait, what about like wine sommeliers? I don't even know how to pronounce that word because it's simply too fancy for a peasant like me. Are they just all made up people? Sommeliers? 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 You know what I mean?
It's food
Sommelier,
astrology. Pay no attention to the
It's food
sommeliers in the
astrology.
comments section. They are bullshitting to upsell
Wait. Did he just shit on them?
by horoscope. It's food astrology. Pay no attention to
Astrology?
the sommeliers in the comments section. They are bullshitting to upsell.
Get the more expensive one. It goes better with the spaghetti.
Or they are a Pisces and you shouldn't trust their opinion. anyway.
Pisces are fine,
Something
okay?
else
Pisces are fine. It's the Scorpios that you should be aware of.
to expect at a restaurant? Expect to get ripped off by the markup. Most restaurants add a 250 to 300% markup
That's insane.
on their wine. And the cheaper the bottle, the higher the proportional markup tends to be. So a $20 bottle will turn into an $80 bottle, but a $100 bottle may only rise to $150.
Therefore, you should get a $150 bottle of wine at the restaurant. I understand. Okay, great. great. Oh my God.
Most people get the second cheapest bottle on the menu, regardless of the pairing, and that'll do just fine. And that's it. No more tips. Unless you want to leave me one. Actually, you know what? I got a fucking tip, mate. Ad time.
Oh.
I bet you're wondering how I got this cog in my knee. That's because I became the face of Incogni, the service that helps you be forgotten on the internet. I used to be a
Just letting
humble
you guys know,
florist
by the
when
way,
they
the
received
days
a
of
shipment
recreational pants grabbing is over.
But
We are now upgrading to
inexplicably, I
competitive pants grabbing.
ate a bunch
That's
of
right. That's right. By the end of this year, whoever has grabbed the most number of pants from the most number of angles for the most number of people will get gold and be dubbed as the
I just picked one of the kids.
ultimate pants grab. Master pants grabber.
Have you ever signed up for some dodgy website? Have you ever dodged up for
Tauruses
a
are
legitimate website
nice.
And they sell all your details onto a
I
dodgy
like
website?
Tauruses.
That's where I come in.
Stubborn motherfuckers, but they're really chill and trustworthy. What he
There
say?
are data miners out there, data collectors, creating big servers all around the world. They take your name, your address, and your IP, and together they make a big profile, and that lives forever. I am here to send
Mr.
them
Beast jump scare.
annoying legal notices to tell them to fuck off. Take Steve off your database. European law this. American law
Pants
that.
grab this.
Incogni.com/internet store it to get 60% off an
Whoa.
annual plan. The cog signal.
That's crazy. Wait, I missed the comment. Rule 3 is common for restaurants. If your food cost is above 33%, you fucked up. Oh, so they make a lot of money on food, huh? I would actually like to see more on like cocktails. Cocktails, at least around here, they're enough for 2 meals sometimes. Like a starting cocktail for like the cheapest cocktail you would find on most restaurant menus these days are like $18. 18 for a cocktail, and it's only 1 ounce. It's crazy. 18. Do you know how many burgers I can get at A&W for 18?
I swoop into the data centers. Legal notice. Tangle up their processes with admin. Who are you? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Ingenokni Nam. Go to incogni.com.
don't know.
Ah, Incogni Man.
He has a son.
Remember me? Yes. No. Who's the kid?
S'il vous plaît. Ah,
That's
oui,
a
oui.
good deal.
Ah, oui, oui.
Ad over.
There's a story about a guy making a huge fake story about a wine, and he bought it to a contest and it won. Then it was like a $20 wine from Target. You mean from Target? That is a fancy wine place. That wine won fair and square.
Welcome to the Wine Underground.
Oh.
We have our meetings here because it stays at a very pleasant temperature.
Ah.
You know, us wine masons, we control everything. We are few, but many. That doesn't make sense. Look at the back of this bottle. See the No Fat Chicks logo? We put that there. It is the symbol of our organization.
Wine sommeliers hate fat people. They're fat phobic. You heard it here first. Yeah, wine industry hates fat people. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Over the border in Germany, they'll never say that. They'll never say that about beer people.
Organization. We have a dirty finger in every glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us, whoops, perhaps you'll have a little accident. Last year, little upstart tried to make wine actually taste good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him
I
up so
love
good
crushed
he had
grape.
to get stitches. We caught one reporter trying to dig around into our operations. We all know how that one ended. With an airstrike. All right, my little juice box. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Why is champagne called champagne?
No, let me guess. It's produced in a region called Champagne.
Well, I'll tell you. It all began in 1668. In the Abbey of St. Peter in northeast France, there's something spooky going on.
Champagne?
It's springtime. And in the cellar where they keep all the wine, bottles would suddenly, unexpectedly, explode.
Oh.
Now this was especially common during morning mass. Ho, that's a bad omen. Sometimes the explosions would cause little chain reactions, and bottle after bottle would...
Whoa, that's like Candy Crush. That's like Candy Crush when you connect like a nice 5 combo and it goes pew 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 pew. Yo, the French people were playing Candy Crush.
break down the line, ruining the majority of the crop. The peasants were frightened and also parched.
Sacre Bleu, lay wine. What is happening?
The monks would
Sacre
refer to
bleu.
this as the devil's wine.
Le wine is cursed.
Le God, he must be anger at us. We need a hero.
In walks Dom Perignon. He is just the man for the job. A Benedictine monk at the abbey. He's got a new role, the cellar master. And it's his mission to find out what the hell is going on here. So Dom starts looking at all the bottles. And what he figures out pretty quickly is that the wine itself is releasing gas. The gas builds up pressure and...
Kaboom!
Why that is happening, he doesn't know. But it's his job to stop it. So he gets to work, trying all sorts of things to stop his mortal enemy.
This is why you should never hold in your farts, because one day if you hold on to them enough, you just go boop, and then the person next to you will go boop, and then it's just you guys on a train going boop, 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 boop. Horrific. Wine bust, exactly.
The bubbles. In the first year, he tried insisting that only the youngest grapes be picked.
Perhaps
Youngest
this will
grapes.
stop
His
your
age is
bubbles.
2.
And it didn't. The next year, he changed up how the grapes were pressed.
Push harder. We'll squeeze out the bubbles.
The
Son of a
bubbles.
He tried picking the grapes very early in the morning and no other time. Nope. And on and on. The bubbles would win the battle every
That's
year.
a lot of wine,
For 8
Coom.
long years, he tried all sorts of different things. And no strategy worked. No, the bubbles.
No, the bubbles,
Eventually-
they haunt me. Old school science. I mean, he's trying his best. It's definitely a lot more meticulous than I would have thought he would have gone. Why is there a wine cellar under the church? Don't ask these questions. It's for le God. It's for the people.
He was at the point of almost giving up.
Aww.
Until one day, hey, what if the wine is still fermenting? So he takes a couple of the bottles and he opens them and, it is. We ferment the wine. Once it's done, it goes into the bottle. How does it then start fermenting again? How is that possible? And here the mystery was solved. So it turns out in North France they have very fast changing seasons. And owing to that, the yeast doesn't actually get time to do its job. Instead, it would get cold very quickly in the winter and all the yeast would go dormant. Then the winemakers would go, oh brilliant, fermentation slowed down, it must be done. They would then bottle it and they would store it. But once summer came back around, the process would spring back to life and carbon dioxide would build up and...
Yo, science, bitch. That's super cool. I didn't know yeast would just like go dormant. I thought they just die if it's that cold. I didn't know they would start up again. They couldn't clean water well, so wine was safer. Okay. Bill Nye was right. Science rules, exactly. Bill.
He thinks, I cannot change the climate. Perhaps I shall not win the war against the bubbles. Now, the bubbles are his enemy, and he has another enemy. The English. Therefore, the enemy of his enemy or...
Fucking Englishman.
He starts talking to the English, and he goes, hey, how do you guys stop your bottles from exploding? And the British go,
You what, mate? Core! Well, peep at how thin the bloody glass be in it. Thin glass is the problem.
In it?
Thank you for using this test to speech preview. For a paid version, please go...
See, the English have created new coal-fired bottles with much thicker glass. And then they put a
That
cork-
looks like drug bottle. Like that doesn't even look like a wine bottle. Growth of England's population and industry led King James I to be concerned that the forests would be overharvested and stripped bare. That was especially a problem at the time because it would mean not enough timber for the Navy to make the British Navy ships. Okay. English then, out of necessity, due to the heavy restricting of deforestation, shifted to using coal, which burned a lot hotter than wood, ideal for glass making, which means they could make better and sturdier glass bottles. Isn't it super cool? Every time I hear a little bit more about the Industrial Revolution and how like human technology has evolved, most of the time it didn't evolve because people were curious. Most of the time it was because like it was just an accident. Oh, that's super cool. But bottles can still explode sometimes. Oh, okay. Heat kills yeast better. I didn't know that.
cork in the top, and it allows them to make very foamy beer. That's right, he could just use thicker bottles and he won't have to worry about stopping the bubbles at all. So Dom goes running back to France. He's panting, he's sweating, and there's bits of brie on his shirt. He's going, better bottles, better bottles.
Better
Everyone's confused
bottles.
and terrified. But they give it a shot. And there it was. The people of France loved it.
Cheer!
I love this new style.
Even the French royals
Huzzah!
were enjoying new wine, TM. He even started adding extra yeast and sugar to really get the bubbles going. And so Dom Perignon had created what we call today champagne. Now, there's a 19th century marketing campaign that says the moment he uncorked his champagne for the first time, he tried it and said, come quickly, I am tasting the stars. But that's actually a myth. He never really said that. But there's still a problem. And this one, Dom cannot fix. The pulp. If you bottle wine while it's still fermenting, so that you can keep the bubbles in, you're also trapping in a bunch of dead yeast and debris and gross particles too. Also, it's all cloudy. No, we want it clear. We want it crystal looking. How will we ever solve this problem? Dom dies.
No!
1805.
Wait, hold on. He never explained how the word champagne came to be. Yeah, 07. 07. Sorry, I had a brain freeze for a second.
Dom Clicquot. She's
Clicquot.
just the man for
It's
the
the
job.
reason,
I'm
right?
also French. I have come to remove all the little beats. I will clench my teeth together and go pitu back into the bottle.
Now, Madame Clicquot was a very shrewd lady. Her husband died when she was in her early 20s,
My husband is dead. Lol.
and part of the estate she was bequeathed included a winery. She immediately got to work making...
Wait, she got a wine from her dead husband? She married rich. Somebody do an investigation on how her husband died.
it into a successful business.
I shall invent a process called lay riddling.
Here's what you do, right? You put these bottles on a rack at a 35-degree angle with the top facing down.
Okay.
Every 2 days, she would give the bottle a little shake and slightly increase the angle. After 8 to 10 weeks, all of the sediment would come to rest in the neck of the bottle.
Oh!
All right, quick tangent. Did you know that when you increase the salt concentration in water, you can drop its temperature down much lower without it freezing?
Yes.
Tangent over. So she takes this sub-zero salt water and dips the neck of the bottle in there. Then lets it sit until the neck freezes. Now you have a sort of frozen cork filled with all of the gross pulp.
And then you just take
then
it out.
You simply pop off the top. And the whole thing goes shooting out as a fun prank for your friends and family.
Oh!
Then they add in a little more extra base wine and sugar and leave it to age. And with that, Clicquot has just created a clear, sparkling wine.
That is really cool. I wonder how she came to that conclusion. Like the 35-degree angle, and every 2 days, like you have to twist it a little bit and increase the angle. That's super cool. She is very smart. Lady was dime scientist. Yeah. She's a witch. Trial and error. Must have taken her years. And the whole like putting it into a bath salt, a salt bath, and freezing it and freezing the top. That's super cool.
And that is Ridley. And Madame Clicquot is...
The Riddler.
Okay.
So Dom Perignon and Madame Clicquot are both credited as the godfather and godmother of champagne. Today, the Dom and Clique brands are owned by LVMH, the same parent company that owns Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Tiffany & Co., Hennessy. Actually, pretty much every luxury brand.
Wait, Hennessy and Louis Vuitton have the same parent company? Wait, what else do they own? Givenchy, I don't know how to pronounce that. Cinemax? Once you start looking at these type of charts for food as well, you realize that there's only a handful of big companies in this world. Like every brand is just, it's like a leaf on a tree, but there's only one tree. Wait, Hermes and LV are the same parent company? JW Anderson? Wine and spirits. Hennessy. That's super. Sephora? Sephora, the makeup distributor, is from... No wonder Sephora took off. I did think at the time that it was growing way too quickly for a new mass distributor with no prior roots. Oh, it had backing and money.
But why is it called champagne?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because it comes from the Champagne region, you dummy. And anything else with bubbles is just...
Don't call me a dummy. I guess
sparkling
that.
wine.
I want to read
Anything
what
else
he
with
said.
bubbles?
Sparkling wine is the higher order term, so champagne is a type of sparkling wine. There are many other types of sparkling wine, Prosecco probably being the most notable. I love Prosecco. It's the one you use in mimosas. Madame Clicquot was also arguably invented the rosé. Many of these first champagnes were made using red wine grapes. Okay.
Is just sparkling wine.
End of part. How many?
Oh, it's you.
Hi.
I was just looking out over the sunset.
Me too.
You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about stuff that happened
Sticks.
in the past.
The Roman Empire.
I remember it all too well.
The Roman
It
Empire.
was literally 1984.
Oh. Is this
I was
Arkham?
walking home with my parents from the opera.
Oh no, it's Batman!
Hey, let's take a little shortcut, they said.
We can cut through here.
We were walking down a well-lit alleyway. It was nothing but quaint restaurants and bistros. Then suddenly, a man holding a bottle of Shiraz came out of nowhere.
Not the Shiraz!
Just a tipple, he said. I was terrified. I knew nothing about wine. Go on, he said. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms heavy.
Mom spaghetti.
Complex aroma, wouldn't you say? Ooh, very good tannins. Oh, really?
He's such a criminal. He's feeding alcohol to a freaking 5-year-old. Get him!
Yep. What's a tannin? I don't know. My parents died from embarrassment right there on the spot.
Even as a child, he had no hairline. Bro, his parents just died. Let him live.
It's too late for me, but I don't want the same thing to happen to you. That's why we have to
what's
learn
tannin?
about how to serve wine.
What's tannin? You guys didn't drink alcohol
So
at
you
5?
bought a bottle of wine to show your friends
Nope.
and family how successful and sophisticated you are. Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa?
That's
So
crazy.
let's go through how to serve the big three. White, red, and champagne. Let's say you've bought champagne. That bottle goes in the fridge.
Okay.
Champagne is served cold always. To open, peel off the foil and do not aim it at your face. Then
Ooh, please
twist off
don't.
the
Oh
metal
my
thing.
god.
If you want people to think you're fancy, use the proper word, muselette.
Muselé.
It helps to
Muselé.
contain the pressure.
Muselé.
Again, don't aim this thing at your face. It's really worth repeating. The PSI inside a champagne bottle is 70 to 90.
Holy
That
crap.
puts it in the same league as a nail gun.
Ooh.
So the cork comes out at about 50 miles an hour. And if you're in a house, you want to hold onto it very firmly with your hand. If you're Bezos, or you just won the Grand Prix, fling it over some ladies. But if you want to be really fancy, you
The sound effect. Ew.
fling it over some ladies. But if you want to be really fancy, you can use a sword. This has been a tradition for a couple hundred years.
That's cool.
Popularized by Napoleon. After each victory, the army would use their sabers to crack one open for the boys. But the sword's just ceremonial. You can use pretty much any blunt object to knock off the top. A phone, a shoe,
A
this
shell.
fish head.
A fish head. I mean,
If
that
it's
is a
cold, It shouldn't
swordfish.
fizz over too much, but you might want to have someone on the side with a ready glass.
Hey,
The glass
it's very
type should either
foamy.
be a tulip or a flute. Although, if you've seen The Great Gatsby, you may notice that they use these. Up until the mid-1900s, people used coupes.
Cute.
That's because, back in the day, excessive effervescence wasn't very cool. So these cups...
I
help
never
actually
knew what these cups were called. I knew what a flute was.
Sometimes they'd even use a small whisk or a fork to dissipate all the bubbles.
I use a chopstick.
Now, there's actually an old myth that the shape and size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's buboes.
Why are the bottoms so flat? Was her boob like flat, or like, are we talking about the size and volume? I need questions. I have questions and I need answers. So every time we use a coupe to drink anything, we're drinking out of Marie Antoinette's boob. Am I understanding that correctly? So everything that comes out of a coupe is booba milk? Crazy. We learn something new every time. Last time we learned that America is just Boruto. And now we learn that sometimes wine is titty milk. Nice, nice.
And size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's buboes. But it's probably not true.
Oh. What? No. I won't hear of it.
Eventually, bubbles became a fancy feature, so the flute was adopted. They can be made from glass, but preferably...
So is this made from, like, King Louis' pee-pee? I'm just wondering if there's, like, a male equivalent, because this is, like, long and thin, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, hi, Nickel.
They're made from crystal, so that they shimmer as much as possible. And the best flutes would also feature a small rough spot right there at the center of the glass at the bottom to create a sort of tornado of bubbles. Anyway, as you pour, tilt sideways so it isn't all head, and don't pour more than 2/3 full.
Nah.
Done.
100% full.
White wine. White wine is best served chilled too. 10 to 15 degrees though, not fridge cold. Use a small glass bowl and pour to about half full.
Did he just call this a bowl? Did he say use a glass bowl?
Pour to about half full. And when you drink, do a little sniff test. Aerate it a bit. Then hold it down low on the stem so your hands don't heat up the liquid.
Oh, I know
if
this
it's
one.
not to your taste, cut it with 50% Sprite and add a few ice cubes.
Ice in wine? Is that allowed?
Done. Reds.
Fill the glass 2/3 and then drink from the bottle directly. Exactly.
Red wine is not chilled. It is served at room temperature. When you first open it, you're supposed to let it sit for a while to oxidize. That gives it more flavor.
Oh.
Although if you don't want to wait, you can just pour it into a decanter. That does the same thing.
Dude, I always thought decanters were like a scam. It's just like for rich people to be like, oh, look at how rich I am and how many things I have and glassware I have in my kitchen. I never knew it actually did anything. Oh, it actually works. I see. This is too fancy. I feel like ice in wine is like a crime. Maybe it's just me.
To drink from, we want a big bowl on a stick. So you get a full face of the aromas of the grape blood.
Stop.
When you pour the thing, fill it about 1/3 full.
1/3.
That's pretty much it. However, when it comes to wine snobbery, red wine snobbery is at the top of the Maslow hierarchy.
I was told before you drink a glass of wine, you're supposed to swirl it around and see how much it clings to the glass. And if it makes like a streak while it, goes down the side of the glass, then it's better wine. And you're supposed to like sniff it delicately, to show that you're sophisticated. I don't know. Is this true?
White rock. It's like almost like a rock quarry.
Oh my god, shut up. And there's a taste testing thing that people do, and it'll go a bit mental, and it's kind of gross, and it looks dumb. But if you think you're ready for the ultimate test, ready to take the one-chip challenge of enology.
What's enology?
Then here's how you do it. When the waiter comes over, insist on taking a teensy sample. Inspect for color, clarity, and legs. Legs refers to how viscous...
Wait! Let me cook!
Clarity and legs. Legs refers to how viscous the wine is. Smell it. Smells like a red wine. Swirl it around on the table, making a loud scratching noise, so that everyone knows you're a connoisseur.
Swirling the wine glass is almost like turning up the volume on the stereo.
When you taste it, you're supposed to get it over every part of your mouth.
I don't like the way she's swishing that around. Oh. When I drink wine, I try my best not to let it touch my teeth because it stains.
So that when you brush your teeth later, it's awful. Then take in big sips of air. This is where you comment on the texture and taste. Complex notes! You yell across the room. Now this is the best part. You can just make shit up about vanilla smatterings or citrusy undercurrents. I swear, there's a hint of blueberry. It's one of those things that's kind.
I see that on wine glasses a lot because I don't know what to buy. So I will just read like what the notes say, and it's like apples and berries, spice. And I'm like, what the fuck? What does that mean? I don't think I've ever tasted wine that tasted like apples. Reactive aromatic compounds, blah, blah, blah. There are no artificial flavors added. Even if there are chocolatey notes, that's owing to there being reactive compounds in the wine mixture appearing there organically. Wine, through its production, is able to bring about traces of these, but not really a real flavor. Okay. I like white wine. Have you guys had flower wine? Not fruit wine, flower wine. Flower wine doesn't have any tannin and it's very smooth and very fun to drink.
Kinda true, but subjective enough that no one can really refute you. So make a big show of it.
There is a little bit of an earthiness, almost a grape note to this.
It's a little bit meaty. It's a little bit rustic.
There are definitely hints here of Monster Ultra sugar-free. If this is a taste test.
Is that Mr. Beast's prime in this wine? Yo, that's crazy.
And you're sampling dozens of wines. You want to spit out the sample into this gross bucket.
Ew.
So you don't get too drunk.
What?
Do not ask the waiter if you can drink from the bucket. It's the waiter's privilege, and he's very protective of it.
All right, I need to know where the nearest VTuber congregation is at a restaurant with wine and a bucket for research purposes. I need to know right now. Next TwitchCon, I'm gonna be trying to find any restaurants with this kind of bucket. Oh, dandelion wines. Yeah. Honey wines, exactly. It's very tasty.
And that is how to serve wine. Okay, that's a lot of shitting on wine, people.
And we shouldn't get bullied.
But let me do a quick 180. Because overall, wine is good. And a little wine snobbery can be good also. Being into wine is one of the great dad hobbies. One day you will have a model train set in your basement,
went down the wrong way.
complete with a little walking path and the grass just right. The best part about this hobby is building the thing, getting it just perfect, and then making people sit there while you explain the little trains in excruciating detail of how they work. Now the fun of Warhammer, that's when you save up for the little Space Marine man.
Stop ruining the video!
You take him out of the packet. You put on a podcast with some Warhammer in the background.
Of all the Primarchs, Horus is the best kisser.
And you slowly paint it yourself. And then you
that's
argue
so
with your mates
satisfying.
later about why the Necrophiles are the best race. There are people that spend like tens of thousands of dollars on coffee machines and equipment. And then it takes like an hour to make a coffee.
And it tastes like ass.
5% better, maybe, than the ones you get at the cafe. Now, I could be Mr. Killjoy and come in and go, what's the point of that? Why not just buy it from the cafe? Why not just get a pre-painted Space Marine? Why not have someone else just install the train set? But then there's no ceremony, there's no fun, there's no hobby. Wine is very similar. They're getting a little bit too obsessive about the thing and being like...
Some lemon zest as well, lemon pith. Super tangy.
What the...
is the purpose of wine. It's the fun of wine, which is why wine is better than just some old grape juice. And you fucking wine loser snobs, you know what? You're all right.
Nah, that's just what the French wants you to think. Is there more?
And that's about it. There's just one last thing left. The practical. Come on,
No, thank you for the follow.
I booked out
Where?
a whole restaurant. They serve some of the best blue whale caviar here.
Blue
All right,
whale
you did it.
caviar.
You sat through the whole video without crying. I think this calls for a toast.
No, don't point it at my
Sit
face.
now.
No. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, at least I'm alive. Let's go.
I can't believe you killed again. But it's okay. I feel like we're becoming close friends who can keep secrets and stuff. And because we're such close friends, I'm going to keep teaching you things.
Okay. What's
That's right.
next?
You're going to be just like me. I just cannot tell which of this is blood and what's wine. By the way, this is the second video. If you haven't seen the first one, which is on Fancy at the Theatre.
Oh, we watched that one.
Go look at it over here.
Like a year ago.
But there's also Fancy, the Arts on...
Oh, bro, I thought that said fancy pants. I mean, that's a nice bag.
Incognito, that's already live, and there's the next Incognito on its way. Do not forget story mode. Do not forget Incogni.
How many channels does this man have?
To dream.
That was good. I like that very much. Yay! All right, it's time to quiz. Have you been paying attention for the last half hour?